Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Bunglevai here for MMOBomb.com, and today we're going to do a first impression gameplay video for War Thunder, a new 3D aviation style MMO published by Gaijin Entertainment. And I'll spend about 15-20 minutes or so checking the game out, making my usual style of commentary. If you guys want to learn more about the game, I highly suggest you check down below at MMOBomb.com for the full game profile. So like I said before, it's like an aviation, World War II aviation style MMO. It's somewhat similar to World of Warplanes, but there are a fair amount of differences between the two, so I'm not going to make too many comparisons other than the interface looks similar. Just because another game is an aviation MMO doesn't mean it's going to be the same style of game. Now, to begin with, one of the main differences, one of the things that make this unique is the fact that you're not limited to one plane per battle. You're limited to a nation of planes per battle. So what I mean by that is, if I choose the USA Air Force, I have access currently to 4 different planes to use in one concurrent battle. That means after one plane shot down, I can then jump into these 3 other planes in quick succession to pilot those. Now, the more crewmen I recruit, the more plane reserves I can have. So you can have a bunch of them, as you can see, but each one costs more and more. You start off with 3 of each nation, and which is nice because you're not restricted to just 3 planes in general. You're restricted to 3 planes per nation, and there's a total of 5 nations right now. So it does give you a lot of options to try out different aircraft and always have something available to actually pilot. Now, in this case, with the Russian aircraft here, I have already an open slot. Well, if I choose aircraft here, I can actually choose to slot an aircraft I've already purchased, or I can research a new aircraft and slot that one in there instead. Now, when in terms of research, it's just the typical, you have to have a rank, and once you have that rank, you just need to have also the amount of currency necessary. It's not so much as World of Tanks where you upgrade a certain plane and then move on. You just are required to have the appropriate rank in that section. So in this case, I have to have the rank 2 of this vehicle, and then I keep moving up and up and up. But as far as researching goes, the upgrades come in the form of crew skill upgrades. And crew skill upgrades, if you go view crew, these upgrades come in the form of increased gunners, a number of gunners increased, their accuracy, your ability to repair your aircraft, your G tolerance, because there is G forces applied to you, your vision, your vitality, your stamina. There's a lot of different really in-depth crew skills that make your plane better. It's not so much of changing your weaponry or changing your engines on the plane. It's much more heavily focused on the crew itself. So let's go ahead and jump into a battle here. I'll just go to battle. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and queue up, but there are 3 different modes available right now: arcade battles, historical battles, and full real battles. Now, arcade battles are just arcade battles. They pit a variety of aircraft from different nations against each other. There's no historical accuracy, and the controls are really simplified, meaning that you don't get a lot of the G-forces applied. There's less of those. It's more forgiving, I guess you could say. Historical battles, these are actual battles that took place, and it does pit certain nations against each other, so you have to use aircraft from those particular nations. And then full real battles are completely realistic battles with realistic G-forces, realistic physics, etc. like that. Arcade battles does implement a lot of that, but is much more forgiving, and it really comes into play with the control aspect of the game. You aren't just limited to keyboard and mouse. You of course also have joystick, but there's a variety of controls for each type. So for keyboard and mouse, you can have much more realistic control over your pitch, your rudder, etc. But also, for beginners, you can just control your plane with just your mouse and a little bit of your keyboard, making it much easier for beginners to get into. And if you want more control later on, then you can upgrade to more realistic controls. And the joystick support is phenomenal. I've seen there's a lot of in-depth options for that. So as you can see, here is the typical mission: destroy enemy ground targets in the airfield. Each side has an airfield at its disposal to repair aircraft at. If you land on there, you can actually repair. Now, what's really cool about this game is the fact that every mode, as you can see, every match isn't just, hey, kill the enemy players, the last one to kill them wins. In this case, you also can kill the airfield, but I've also seen additionally objective modes where you can kill the ground units. There are like anti-aircraft and tanks on the ground, and if you shoot those down and get down to 0, you've essentially wiped out the enemy force without having to kill all the enemy players. So I think that's really cool. As you can see in the bottom left, you'll see those amounts. There's 69 versus 69, and those change depending on which server you're on. or sorry, map type rather. So those change per map. Each map has like a different mode. You can kind of see them off in the distance, those little red dots there. Those are the stationary NPC targets. Now, the game does have a future roadmap. It's currently just in beta, in what's called an open global beta. And eventually they want players to be able to control, additional players to control those ground APC vehicles, so that players can actually shoot at aircraft themselves, and it's much more of a open, coherent, there we go, battle, rather than just simply, I mean, as you can see, the anti-aircraft right there shot down a player just simply by targeting him. So it's certainly not just like field dressing, window dressing. There's a lot of tacticalness to it. You can't just fly right into the anti-air. You're gonna get shot down quite easily. But that's where bombers come into play. There are certain aircraft called bombers which allow you to bomb the enemy installations from really high up and evade that damage much easier. Let's go ahead and fly away from that. I'm just in this small little one-engine plane. Can't really take that on. So once those get taken out a little bit more, it'll be much easier for me to swoop in and take one out. Right now, though, not really in a good spot. As you can see, they're shooting at me pretty good. Now, I can hit my middle mouse button in order to kind of lock onto a target, and this allows me to see what range he is, as well as to kind of like immediately have my camera pan to him. It also tells me where I have to shoot. So you can notice that small little reticule right there. That allows me to like judge where I have to shoot him at, and I'm getting this guy good. Oh, come on, am I going to get him down? He suffers damage to his oil tank, so his oil tank is going to go down. I'm going to slow down just a bit here. What are you going to do, buddy? I can't even see the back of his thing. Oh, no, I'm going to stall. So you do actually stall. In fact, if I came down to the ground fast enough, come on, let's come around here, I would end up blacking out, which is pretty cool. All right, so we're going to come around here. Come on, a little bit more, little more. And I have to watch out not to overheat my guns, because then they'll have to reload. Oh, he's so hurt. Come on. So if I bring myself around back here. So it's pretty cool. You know, you have these like really intense aircraft fights where, oh, I got him. There we go. Critical hit. And a left wing was taken out. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I broke his left wing off. So he's going to spiral into the ground until he dies. But then, you know, if you do get taken out early, you don't have to worry about that so much, simply for the fact that you have extra aircraft to work with. So here comes another guy here. I'm going to shoot at him as well. Now, he's more of a bomber. He's a much bigger plane, so he can take those hits a lot easier than I can. And he can actually shoot me from behind as well. That's one of the nice little features of bomber aircraft, is they have more directional guns to actually shoot with. Alright, so I'm coming up on Marguro here, which is on a P-26A. I'm going to come up from behind him a little bit here. Got some anti-aircraft shooting, but it's mostly shooting at him. This is our anti-aircraft. And let's see if I can get a little bit. Come on, a little bit more. There we go. Got a little bit of damage on him. Not too much, though. I think I got a little bit more on him. Yep. He's taking some damage. Whoa, gotta watch out for that. Come around here. Someone's calling a hacker. I don't even know how you hack in a game like this. But you notice I actually overheated my MG. So now it's gone to 6 seconds before I can use it again. See if I can come and assist my ally here. Now, if you notice, there's an enemy emplacement right here. So I can actually zoom in and come down here to strafe it in order to take out the target. Come on, a little bit more. I think I took it out. There we go. Surface unit destroyed. So you get points for that. You know, it does contribute towards winning as well. I think somebody's actually shooting at me. Oh, don't. I'm going to come over this hill here to try to dodge, and then see if I can do a dive bomb here. And you can actually see my speed will increase, and I'll start to black out after a while. But it's alright. I'm just trying to do some evasive maneuvers. I'll come back over to my anti-air stuff to try to deter him. And I forget how to actually look from behind, which would be quite useful, I'd have to say. Alright, so what's cool about the game is you can also land it to repair, like I said before, in the airfield. And you have to actually deploy, if you have a vehicle or if you have an aircraft that requires you to deploy your landing gear, you actually have to do that in order to make sure you can land properly. And I'm a pretty terrible lander, so I'm not going to try right now. But I can use V. I can actually hit V here to change my view, so I can see, you know, from a first perspective or a cockpit view. So it's more than just third person, which is actually quite nice. Some anti-aircraft gun is shooting at me. I think it's here on the ground. Can I get to it? I'm going to come around for you. There it is. Alright, so let's see if we can just evade those shots here. And then do some strafing. We'll do some strafing. Come on. I feel like a real pilot. There we go. Let's pull up, pull up. Alright, so we pull up there, and I took out another gun. So they only have 4 guns left now, so we can actually win pretty soon if we take out those additional 4 guns. A lot of red over there, so let's go ahead and take those out. Oh, God! Whoa! Randomly took out my right wing, and I go spiraling out of control. Was not expecting that at all. So, yeah, there are those moments where, like, you're not expecting someone gets a really good hit on you, and you end up getting taken out quite fast. So it's always about, you know, ducking and weaving, etc. Making sure to know where the enemies are. And bombers can get really high up in the air and bomb from a far distance away. And it actually gets, looks like we got victory. Yes! We did in fact win the game. Some of these matches can last quite a while, especially when there's only a couple aircraft left and they're pretty good at dodging. So as you can see there, I had 1 death, but I killed 2 of those and just 1. Whereas this guy over here, look at him, he killed 32. Oh my gosh, how in the world did he kill 32 of those by himself? That is quite impressive. Alright, so you notice here, my USA Air Force rank has gone up well, and then my individual rank, which is my in general rank. And then I get some experience for different aircraft that I use, and that then contributes towards my overall credits. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into another match here. I'm going to jump into my Russian aircraft, which already has another 4, and we'll go to battle again. Alright, so let's hit battle here once more. I should go ahead and show you the crew management skills really quickly. Now, as you can see here, the crew level, I already spent my crew points, and I spent those on my gunners. So you notice I have the total number of experienced gunners in the crew. If the aircraft has more gunners than experienced gunners, the crew does not run at maximum performance. And this one increases my... or it reduces the scatter of my gun's fire. So that really allows me to shoot guys down a lot more effectively. My bullets have less spread, essentially. So let's go ahead and jump in one more match. Servers currently available, Russian and EU. I'm playing from California right now, and on an EU server I get about 180 ping or so. It's not that bad. I don't really notice any kind of lag or anything like that. The only time I notice something is if someone has a higher ping from over there. They'll kind of be a little bit jittery on my screen. Overall, though, I do view this as a pretty fun game. It's got a lot of atmosphere to it. There's a lot of fun elements to it, you know, piloting different types of aircraft with explosions going around you. It feels much more intuitive and engrossing than I have to say currently than World of Warplanes, rather. I really feel like World of Warplanes, don't get me wrong, it's a decent game, but I feel like they just took World of Tanks and tried to apply a World of Warplanes mentality to it, whereas War Thunder was kind of built from the ground up to have a more engrossing experience currently in its current state. You know, both games are still in a sort of beta state. So right now, some of the upcoming features, like I said, for War Thunder, they're going to have global chat, friends list. Those things aren't available right now, still in beta. They're going to have an update of in-game menu and interface, so everything you see here can actually change. There's going to be additional aircraft, gathering into squadrons, which are, I would assume to be like a clan system. Player-controlled vehicles, tournament modes, full mission editor, so you can actually create custom player missions, as well as bomber cockpits as well. So there's a lot of more ambient and atmospheric things to be added, as well as the ability for players to actually create their own custom missions to play, which I feel is a pretty cool feature. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into this match here and see how well I do. I did okay last match, but I feel like, you know, if you're a really good pilot, you really contribute a lot. And if you're a so-so pilot, you can make little, you know, achievements and advancements, but not too much to begin with. Alright, you can try dynamic campaigns, which are, oh, one of the modes I forgot to mention is that there is sort of like a PvE mode where up to 4 players can cooperatively take on some AI and some ground targets, etc. I haven't actually been able to try them myself simply because they require a certain rank of aircraft, because the aircraft that are used are historically accurate. They're kind of like missions or campaigns that you would have expected to see in World War II. So they really want to make sure, the developers really want to make sure everything is historically accurate in that respect. So you do have to use certain types of aircraft, but it's cool that they're, you know, in games like this you would always expect it to be mainly PvP. And it's cool that they have actual PvE modes available as well. Alright, so it's very easy. Destroy enemy aircraft and ground targets. That is the objective, I guess you could say. And this one is much more closer to the sea. So I like the fact that they really have a variety of different areas to choose from, different modes, or not different modes, but different objectives, and different areas for you to fly through. You're not just limited to just flying over a landscape. I feel a lot of times the landscape plays a fairly big part in it. And this landscape is much more flat, which kind of encourages more air fighting, I guess you could say, less dogfighting through canyons. But I like that, it's just variety, a lot of various types of. Is someone shooting rockets? Oh no, there's our naval vehicles. Awesome. So as you can see, the NPCs actually fight each other. You can kind of see all the different artillery shells going off and on like that. So it becomes much more of a World War battle and not just an aircraft battle, which I think sometimes certain games miss. They just make it about one aspect, when in fact, if you want to be truly accurate, it is a variety of things at the same time, not just one. All right, so let's see if we can get close enough to this guy. Oh man, I like those guns. This is the first time I tried out this aircraft. I already got some good hits on him a little bit. Let's go ahead and pull over. And I mean, with the mouse controls, this is one thing I had an issue with World of Warplanes. The mouse controls were very floaty, and I have a lot better. I think I have a lot better control over these particular ones, these particular aircraft. Oh god! Oh no! Let's come up here. None of this trying to come up behind me. All right, so let's see if we can do a barrel roll real quickly. All right, did a barrel roll there. Jets again. So I think the matchmaking is something that they need to fix a little bit. Currently, planes that have obvious bonuses against other planes are fighting each other, and I think that's one thing that, like, I just totally crashed into the ground. I think that's one thing that they mentioned that they were fixing in the update. I don't know what that was. All right, let's come over here. There's somebody shooting at our navals. Oh no, looks like they're gonna get taken down. I'm going ahead and pitch myself up here. I think someone was behind me, but it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do a turnaround, try to find some more guys. And as you can see there, if you notice when they kind of dimmed a little bit, you couldn't see as well. That was because of the G-forces that I was using. Oh god, did I get shot down? What happened? Who shot me? I was shot down just randomly by him. So I don't know if that was somewhat because of the fact that I am on a EU ping and I couldn't see the damage getting hit until it was too late, or the fact that he just killed my pilot outright. But he did take me out quite effectively very quickly, which is unfortunate. But man, doesn't that look so awesome? Look, they're just firing on here. They're shooting rockets and everything. Alright, so how are we doing? They're slightly in the lead, not too much though. Let's go ahead and zoom in here to see if I can get closer to this target. I'm down to just 4 machine guns again, unfortunately. Man, look at all that fire coming in. That's so crazy. There's so much of it. Alright, so getting a little closer here. I can start leading my target just a little bit. Alright, so gotta hit him again, Bring out a zoom here. Ah, got him. Critical hit. So I did actually destroy him, which is nice. But I've taken some damage in my main cockpit area. You can see that on the left-hand side. It's a little small. It could be a little bit bigger, but it works, I guess, for all intents and purposes right now. But we got to take out their enemy vehicles. Alright, so I was going to come in here for a strafe run. I'm going to boost up a little bit. I can't boost too much, or else I'll end up taking out my... my engines will end up getting taken out, unfortunately. Oh, they just bombed it, looked like. That was so awesome. I mean, you can see all these explosions. There's one in this. Come on, take it out, take it out. Let's bring up. I crashed into it. I think that's because I was damaged. I couldn't pull up fast enough. But I mean, this is what I'm saying. You know how when you play other games where it's like last man standing, once you're out, if you make an early mistake, you're out. Like that, you're just out of the game. But I like the fact that in this game, you do have multiple chances to get back in it with different aircraft. And different aircraft can serve different purposes. So you're not always just relegated to using... I mean, look how many fighters are actually shooting at him. Let's see if I can come up from this guy from behind. I'm coming, buddy. I'm coming. Duck and weave, man. Duck and weave. I'm coming. We're going to get him. All right, so I'm coming in from behind here. Closing the distance. You have to be within, like, 0.3. Yeah, there we go. I'm coming. can't really see my reticle too much. Got him a couple more times. Coming up back around here. Yeah, there we go. Aircraft destroyed, and look at him go. He's going down. I like the fact that he just like is on fire right now. That's pretty awesome. And there he goes. Awesome. All right. So I mean, you can be a fairly good shot. You just have to make sure to lead your targets. That's the main thing. Yes, we know. We're here. We're protecting. All right, here. So we got a guy coming in fairly low. Another one too. I'm gonna come get this guy hopefully soon. Where you going, man? Where you going? Oh no, we hit each other! No, my right wing's going down! Alright, but I think I shot him down too. We hit each other. We shot each other down. Alright, so I'm down to one less aircraft here. I like the fact that we like clipped each other. That's pretty awesome. Alright here. So I can do barrel rolls if I wanted to just by hitting A and D. So you do have control over those systems, and then you can use Q and E to adjust your rudders. Using shift and control allow you to pitch up and pitch down, so if you need to go up in the air really fast. But with mouse controls, you don't have to worry about that too much. It kind of automatically does that for you. But you can add additional control to that just by hitting those respective buttons. Let's go ahead and go to V. It can be pretty difficult to like aim with that because there's the things in the way. But let's see if we can come around here and get a kill like this. I mean, this is like pretty intense. Come on. Use my slow down my speed just a little bit to get behind. Yeah, I got a couple hits. He's breaking off maybe. Nope. It's pretty hard to do it from that perspective for too long. You get kind of like seasick, nausea, not seasick, but nauseous rather. All right, so wait for my gun to cool down just a bit. Come on, a little more. He's got to be hurt. Come on. He's so low. I'm coming, buddy. I'm helping you out. Come on, a little bit more. A little bit more hits. No, we got him. How did you live so long? I keep hitting you so many times. So some of these vehicles... Ah, there we go. Finally got him. No, he's just hurt. He's not... Okay, now he's down. There we go. So I did take him out, but he took out my friend, the guy, unfortunately, at the same time. Alright. Let's see if we can get this guy, too. Oh, yeah. Look at me. Fighter rescue. Oh, man, we clipped each other. Oh, man. That was hilarious. Did he live? I think he lives. No, he died. We, like, slammed right into each other. But alrighty, guys. That's it. I have no more aircraft. At this point, I can just simply look at other... There's one of the bombers I was talking about. It's quite large. And those are really effective, as you can see. They're really high up. They're effective at bombing large installations at the same time. You can see him. He's dropping like 3 or 4 bombs at a time. But we're still winning just slightly. But we'll go ahead and conclude the game here for now. If you guys want to know more about War Thunder, I highly suggest you check down below. Panther, look at that. Crazy looking. I highly suggest you check down below at mmobomb.com for the full game profile. This has been Spunkify. And I'll see you guys in the next first look here on MMO Bomb. Spunkify out. Later, guys.